Yeah, good day once again. Welcome to the Nubian Show. Today we have a new episode of the show. And here in the studio with me, I have, good people. They're probably new to you guys, though. They're not our regulars, but today I just decided to add some spice to the show. And today we have really, really dope people in the building. On my right, I have Kels, I have Michael, and I have, you already know her, Kim, in the building. So thank you guys for coming to the show.
It's a pleasure.
Today, we're actually going to have a discussion about the impact of hip hop culture in the African society. So, to start with you, Kels, like, how do you think hip hop has actually empowered Africans?
Okay. Well, hello everyone. Hip hop is just like it's a culture first of all. So just like many other cultures, American culture, the English culture, the British culture, Scottish culture, they've all have an impact on a particular society. And so hip hop is meant to have its own impact too. The thing about hip hop is just its origins, and it's just like a boomerang. It just came back to Africa actually. That's why I see it. So it's come to stay, and it's going to stay for a long time. We need hip hop.
We need hip hop. That's a good one. Michael?
Yeah. Well, like Kel said, it's a culture. Impact now, I think we can look at it from two sides, positive and negative, if I get your question correctly. But personally, I think that over time, the negative part is becoming more dominating. Yeah,
True.
I mean negatively, and the reason being, the content of what hip hop is right now, like what people are putting into it. I mean, like you said, it's a culture. Music in its own is a way. I mean, you can change a society with music.
True.
So now, what you put inside also, basically, I mean, the content basically can affect positively or negatively. So personally, I think, I mean, I'm going to talk more on that later. I mean, if I have the time to, so I don't take so much time. But I think that the negative part is becoming more dominating than the positive part. That's if you look at the history of hip hop. Yeah.
True. That's actually a very valid, you made some very valid point. And now, personally, well, contrary to what you said about how we need hip hop, I think we need hip hop, but nowadays we're seeing more detriments caused by hip hop than
Yeah.
positive impact.
It depends on how you look at it, actually, because just like every culture, every influence, they're all tools used by high powers or even lower powers to kind of change time of things. And so, hip hop originally had a positive, had a very very useful, was a useful tool to the low income people. Back in the States and also in Nigeria, in a couple of African countries, people saw how hip hop, they knows how hip hop was actually influential in getting themselves heard, because just like and in hip hop itself, there's what you call a trend, right? So the good trends that used to be there as a form of expression of the truth of what's happening, is being overcome now by clout.
Yeah.
Really just clout. To just want to hey, I'm here and all that, So I think it's all about, it's up to the hip hop disciples or prophets to actually change, the impact of hip hop itself. So I mean, hip hop is definitely there. It's an art. You can't take it away from it. You can't say we should stop hip hop because it has some no. You just have to spice it up in between, just the same, putting spice instead of having a lot of whack ass rappers who talk about bullshit, but just get some real deal stuff and just put if you back in the days, if you have the swear word in your stuff, they'll actually cut it up. But hey, they actually rap a lot of good things there, but they use swear words to so the thing is to make it not a norm. It became a norm over time because nobody looked after it. And so I mean, High Life was good too. But High Life can also have swear words in it.
Yeah,
you understand?
Just like any other kind of
any other kind of music.
Yeah,
So hip hop definitely being it's been at its prime and it's declining due to its bad influence and the bad look on it. So I think we should just as artists, right? Why don't you rap anymore, by the way? I used to listen to music.
I was gonna ask the same thing.
Why don't you rap anymore?
No, I still do actually, but nowadays I have a lot of things to do. And I can't really give recording that much time.
That's what we're talking about, you see. So you're allowed to work where cash rappers take over. Why?
If I might though, hip hop is a genre. and genre is just a type of music, like the rhythms, the melodies, etc. And to reiterate what he said, it's a boomerang, because if you know the origins of hip hop, it's a mixture of, like he said, the voice that wasn't being heard, but it also came from different genres. And it is a genre in and of itself, and it's just a matter of what you put into it.
True.
He
It's
actually
just-
got the pizza. It wasn't a joke. He actually got the
Yeah, I
pizza.
did. Yeah.
Without pineapples, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying, it's a genre, and it's what you put into it. And if you are putting out what you don't want, then you're gonna get what you don't want. So if it's the lyrics that people might have a problem with or see as a bad thing, then put better lyrics.
But the question now is, putting better lyrics. I think that's where the problem is. Recently, I don't know, here, they've been doing a lot to try to control the content of hip hop.
In Russia?
Yeah, I think it was even a serious issue when I don't know who exactly the president is. I mean, the politicians. They try to control the content of hip hop. Of course, the people got pissed. Like, okay, don't mix politics with hip hop. These are two different things. This is against human rights and things like that. But they had their own valid point. They have their own valid point. Like, okay, what you guys? I mean, what the message you're passing with or through hip hop? It's really diminishing the culture, yeah, and it has a negative effect on the younger generation. But they don't see it that way. They feel, okay, no, it's an art, and you're free, and it's subjective. You can do whatever you want to do with it, but they don't see the negative part. Like, okay, whatever you do with it now could have positive or negative effect, and of course, they're more on the negative effect than it has. Yeah, so I think the problem is where, okay, who controls and should it be controlled, the content.
Well, I get what you're saying, because all right, in Jamaica, dance hall was
Are
seen.
you from Jamaica?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
Jamaican.
Hello, Wagwan. Hello, baby. How you doing? Hey.
So in Jamaica, a dance hall was seen as a bad thing for a very long time. It was lewd lyrics, etc. It played with and came from, and partly, it played with hip hop. And now politicians use dance hall for their campaign. They use it for their campaign. They use these. So, like I said, it's about showing. If you think it's negative, it may very well have some negative effects because of what is being put into it. But if you see that something is wrong with it, then you can always flip the switch and make it something else.
If I add to what you just said, actually, you're just saying it's actually used as a tool,
Yeah.
right, to get and influence people. So, and let's give kudos to her. Actually, hip hop started from Jamaica.
It
Put it that
actually
way.
did,
Yeah, actually, the
It did.
DJ, the Jamaican, yeah, there's a Jamaican New Yorker.
Biggie was
who
Jamaican.
started playing the
There-
breakbeats in 1973. Yeah, did a little research.
History
as well.
class.
Yeah.
I didn't know that personally.
Yeah.
So now, talking about hip hop in the African society, how do you think, as an African, how do you think hip hop has actually affected? What effect do you think hip hop has on the psyche of an average African?
Times are different. Then it was different. Now it's totally different. Now, like I said, everything's about clout. Okay, one, because if clout can save your ass, right, from a low income to a high income, why not do it? I'm not supporting it, but that's exactly what the average man thinks about. Hey, even if they can't rap, you should need to see some Sound City, like, what they call this cast and stuff. You will laugh your ass out. People come from the village trying to rap. I mean, well, as an artist, you understand what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So to the average African right now, hip hop to him in his mind is more about, okay, it could be 3 or 4 more things. One, I want to be famous. Okay. 2, I need to get a message out there. Who cares? Like 3, I want to use this as a form of influence or protest, or I want to promote something, which is as much become right now. Do you notice that which we have more hip hop artists being paid for promotions of things? Even Russia now, they use this guy who raps about some. Was it Yandex he was rapping about?
Yeah. With the driving with the wife in the car, yeah.
That dude just half a year ago, he had not enough cab, but now hey, he got big this. He kept to the art and he got his own stock delivery and he did it, and everybody's like, yeah. You know, what can you say? It's power to the people. Hello, like, you know, yeah.
True.
I think it's just a form of self-expression, and I think it's allowed a lot of Africans to express themselves in a way that probably they didn't have the opportunity to before. You know, sometimes you have to reach outside of your own culture to find your own voice, and I think it's helped a lot of people. Yes, it might have had a negative effect because a lot of people use it for clout. But it's a form of expression,
Yeah,
and everybody deserves the chance to express themselves. And sometimes you have to steer them in a way that they should go, but you can't stop a man from trying to express himself.
Yes, that's a fact.
The
though.
good thing about this whole thing is like hip hop evolved in such a way that it doesn't really take away from our culture that much. If you look at it, right? That's my phone. It's okay. It's filmed all the times. 1,000 times. It's filmed all. It's okay. I got a cracked screen, but it's okay. Anyways, so what I'm trying to say is like, look at it, right? Back in the days, we had high life, had a lot of like music, whatever that. But hip hop now is being expressed in local content. But like respect to those dudes who started rapping in like in Igbo, in Yoruba, in South African, like Swahili, like Creole. Like what you can't take it from them. Like they're actually speaking their truth to the people. So that's where I think hip hop actually is a very very like necessary tool in today's like
Society.
It's the
society.
evolution of music. You never know what genre will come out of the mixture of the two.
Yeah.
So I think it's an inevitable thing that will happen. It started happening, and it's only good to see where it's going, where it's headed.
One question: have you ever heard rock in Yoruba?
Rocky Yoruba.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I have
think-
not, but I've heard of rock in dance
Yoruba.
hall.
In dance hall? How do you
Yeah.
have rock in dance or a genre in a genre?
Hey,
Like,
hey.
How does it sound? Could you?
It sounds good. There was a young lady that was on The Voice. She won The Voice in America. She's Jamaican, on season 8, I think. Anyway, she has a song that a part of the song is reggae, and a part of the song is like they started rocking out.
Oh, it's a mix, and the song has a mix of drums in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
DJs do that a lot too, but
Yeah, but in song, like it's good because like I said, like Afrobeat, if you listen to some Afrobeat stuff, like you can find the mixture in it. You're just listening for one thing, but if you really should listen to maybe the drum, it might be a hip hop beat. If you listen to maybe the guitar, it
tell me
might be
she's
a
a
hip hop.
producer, right? She's a producer, right?
She's like
She knows a lot about music, but she's digging into the facts.
I'm sorry.
I
It's
wouldn't
my
really
profession.
expect that because she's Jamaican.
It's my
Really?
So you need to
profession.
know.
Like honestly, like what you do?
Yes.
You produce music.
I'm a musician.
Yes, in the context.
She goes to musical school, right?
Yeah, I do classical music, jazz
Here?
music. Yeah, here.
Oh,
Here I
cool.
do classical music, but yeah, I do it.
You must be the only one actually from our culture in that place, right? I guess. Like,
I'm the only black person in my faculty for the past
That's
6 years. I've been the
Trust.
only.
Hey, shout out to y'all. If you don't know what's happening in Moscow, Russia, yeah, we changing everything here, though. Because
Classical music.
I swear, like 10 years ago, you never could hear people like really into things like this. And we actually have a podcast here. I want to say shout outs to you too, because I mean, this is really great improvement. Thank God for it. Yeah.
So now, as men, yeah, do you really think hip hop has kind of like shaped or affected the way we view women?
Ooh, that's yeah. I think I was waiting for us to get there. That is maybe if I would reframe that. That's you're trying to say degradation of women. Yeah. I was gonna say something about that when Kels mentioned. I mean, when you asked about the effect of hip hop in the African community, you say times the difference. Yeah, different.
Yeah.
The thing is, I will start this way. The definition of hip hop, I think, also is person dependent. Because when you ask a person what is hip hop, first, the beat. Some people say. Some start pointing to the lyrics. If you don't swear, then it's not hip hop.
No.
I mean that is
I
for
disagree
some.
with that.
Yeah, I mean for some people. Yeah, and for some people, if you don't use or degrade the feminine gender, then you
I
will.
actually disagree with
Yeah.
that.
No, there are really there are folks who think like that.
Because actually, when you listen to all these guys that tend to use less vulgarity,
Yeah.
They still use words like bitches.
Yeah.
Someone like J. Cole.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, with much
know?
respect
Yeah.
to him, but him using bitches, yeah. I mean, but you know, it's become like a trend there, and I wouldn't say people might take offense to it. People might not take offense to it. Like, you know, it all depends on the community you find yourself. Because the community sector allows you to play such music, but because American culture is so influential, right? It becomes a hit there, it automatically becomes a hit here and in Africa.
Yeah, that's the problem. It
That's
doesn't.
the problem.
You don't have to conform to it. You have to. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
that is, again, it's hip hop. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're gonna use it, pick out some. I mean, you don't have to take the whole
Everything,
thing. You
yeah.
should
Yeah.
filter.
You need to learn selectively.
Yeah.
If I may,
Yeah.
if I may, I know.
No, sorry, I was still going to come to you to tell us from a perspective of a woman. What do you think? How do
That's
you
a
think?
good one. Yeah.
Right, but before I come from the perspective of a woman, I want to come from the perspective of a Westerner versus a
African.
true African. Cultures differ,
Yep.
Yeah.
so I can speak to like an American culture. Bitches is another way to refer to a female, and like he said, some people might be offended and some people might not, because it just became another name for. But if it's not your culture, then you have to understand when and when not to use it. Because for me, when I'm speaking to my friend from America, we call each other bitches all the time.
But see, the thing is,
We call each other bitch, right? But we're in a Russian band, and they would be like, "Why are you doing that? Like,
Exactly,
you guys
yeah.
are offending each other." And we're like, "No, this is the norm for
But
where
the thing
we're
is,
from."
do you think in your culture, do you think it's an ignorance that became a norm? Because bitch is an English word, right? So when you check the dictionary, it doesn't tell you bitch is about how you can actually address a woman.
Yeah.
Female dog,
No, well,
right?
you see,
So how's it normal?
He's a strict disciplinarian,
Again,
right?
No, how's it normal? You know?
again, it's ignorance, because a bitch is not just a female dog. A bitch is a spiteful woman. That is the definition of bitch. And
In the dictionary.
yes,
In
a
the dictionary.
Yes, it is.
Whose dictionary is that?
Wait, let me check. Let me
Search
check
it up.
Oxford
Look
Dictionary
it up.
now.
I was Urban United's Urban Dictionary.
You have to understand
Yeah.
that.
No,
this-
it's also a spiteful
Y'all be
woman.
switching things up. Are you serious
No,
about that?
I am. Look it up. Look it up. It's also a spiteful woman, and
We'll
that's
put it
where
out
it
of
came
post
from.
now to
Like,
check,
you're
yeah.
spiteful. You're not just.
No, it says derogatory. Derogatory.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
you know the
yes.
reason why I actually chose to look at Oxford, because Oxford is an English dictionary, yeah?
Nah,
And
actually-
English,
Actually, guess what? Here, your Oxford might be wrong, because if we Yandex, like, they switched the game up, they said a bitch, I put it in
Suka.
Russian. It said suka.
what's
It says-
suka in, bro?
Hold on.
Not just, it has several definitions.
Bro.
But
Let's
that's what
look
I'm
there.
saying to
Yeah,
you.
it's also
yes,
means.
it might
The thing is,
degrade.
how can you say,
Sterva.
how can you say
You
you
don't call
understand,
sterva.
no, how can you say you understand a version of English that the English people themselves don't understand?
They do understand it.
understand.
I'm from an
but
English
in-
colony, and that's
in-
how I know
But the
the
thing is,
several definitions.
in English dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, it says bitch. Then that part you described about being unpleasant and stuff, derogatory.
I get it, but here's the
Right?
thing, right? Here's the thing,
So they
right?
had already shown you that this is not normal.
Okay,
So
I'm
how are we making it normal if
Okay.
the owner of the language is saying this is not normal?
Okay,
Do you understand what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna speak from the female perspective, like you asked me to now. It's like the word nigga.
I knew you were going to say that. I expected that.
The word nigga. At first, it was used to bring black people down.
Yeah.
And then we owned it. It's like when you get called a nickname or you get called a name and you don't like it, but they say if you own it, then it can no longer hurt you. Spiteful women, they became that. Like I own the word.
own
Yes,
it.
you know what? You say that I'm spiteful, and at some point I was like, nah, I'm not. Nah, I'm not that. But like now, like yes,
Hell yeah.
I am, and I'm gonna own the word. And you can't tell me that I am this, because you know what? I don't care that you think that I am this thing. Yes, I am exactly
okay.
this
Tell
thing.
me.
Can we do that for
Nothing.
every word now? Every negative word?
You know,
you-
that's what I'm
just
saying.
you
own
don't
it?
I'm not
just
saying you
I
should.
understand the fact that we owned it, but then again, we owned ignorance, and we don't have to make that normal. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, but that's what I'm
Do you know
saying.
what I'm
Like
saying?
you don't have to make it normal in your culture.
Not culture.
But I'm saying that some people have made it normal in their own culture for whatever their reason is. They have made it normal in
But
their
if it is-
culture. But if
don't
it
you think-
doesn't, if it doesn't translate to your culture, then don't. Because I can even speak about being here in Russia. I've had friends who've been afraid to call me black. Because here, black in Russian is a derogatory term.
Yeah.
And I have to be telling them, no, I'm not chocolate. I am not whatever warm colors you're trying. No, I am blackety black.
Damn.
That's what I am. And they're like, oh, it's
Yeah,
okay to
crazy.
call you black? And I'm like, yes, because I'm black. You know, if it doesn't translate to your culture, I'm not saying that you should own it.
But you know
I'm
the thing
saying
is, even Americans, there are certain educated Americans that don't use the word bitch and nigger, and it's still their culture too. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not really about the culture; it's about you as
about
an
the
individual
person.
As
making
an
it normal.
individual. Yeah. Thank you for getting that across.
You know?
It's very important. And those
Because there are educated Americans that don't use words like bitches
Yeah.
and nigger because they understand.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's normal doesn't mean it should be normal. I think we
depends
as
on the
as
environment you find yourself.
you know,
You
that's
can
what I'm
find
just really saying.
yourself-
And due to that, I'm really concerned about how Africans take that because now it's becoming a norm. You see two Nigerian girls talking about bitch. And the funny thing is, I was actually going to come to that, but since we had already started this discussion, there was a point I was going to raise about how women also glorify music that actually demean them.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that I still cannot wrap my head around that one. I
You know,
just cannot
Yeah.
understand.
They are the
yeah.
ones that actually make these artists popular.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about the bad influence of hip hop, bro. That's where I really get like, oh shit. Like, yeah.
And it's actually, you see the thing is, I understand. Africans don't really understand that, though we learning a lot from Americans, from hip hop, but Africans don't really understand that there should be a limit to what you understand, what you can actually take from these people because
should be
they
filtered.
are actually engineered people.
Sorry.
You know,
May I ask a
they're
question?
actually engineered people, and they kind of like damaged to some extent. And you coming from a place where you don't really have that much first-hand experience of such damage, there should be a limit to actually what you learn from them. But we don't really understand that.
May I ask a
Remember
question?
remember we went to school. We had good students and bad students. Like we have a lot of bad students in America. They don't want to learn. They don't give a damn about it. Like yo, think about it. Right, back in the days when Eminem was popular, like I was into a clip like 8 years or 10 years ago. Eminem was like, he came through culture that he was not supposed to be accepted, but he was accepted because he stayed true to it. Anyways, I just want to give you an example. Then there was this song he sang, one of my favorite songs. I can be your Superman, can be your Superman. I do know something though. Instead of saying that the dirty version has bitches, they come, they go. But the clean version that played on MTV back in the days, we were in high school back then, remember? It said chickens, they come, they go.
But chicken. You see, chicken
You see?
in American culture, do not call a woman a chicken. That is.
But you understand the aim was to
Yeah.
actually reduce the the vulgarity of the word. But hey, everybody got it. Like
You know,
Got it, but it's more derogatory than calling them the B word, a bitch. It's like don't call a woman a
Now-
chicken, full stop.
so then
N-O.
J. Cole is doing the right thing by saying the way it is, like the way he sees it, the way it's accepted in that culture. So in that concept, I think there's nothing wrong with him, nothing wrong with it. It's a matter of like those who don't agree to those terms or who take it like personal to like probably cut it off themselves. I don't know, do something about it.
I think the question again is when they use the word bitches. At some point I had to think like, are they referring to every woman or a specific group of women who are like
Black women.
No.
Black women.
So are they?
No.
So if you think, how did the word bitch
Come up.
go mainstream? Through hip
Because
hop?
yeah,
Probably
that is
some
no,
dog show.
Bro, through hip hop.
through hip hop. Yeah, but the thing is,
Through hip-hop.
who are you referring to? It's like, okay, if you call a person an idiot, if it's okay, you guys are idiots. Are you talking to everybody, or just because the person has the quality of an idiot?
Yeah.
Just so you know,
But-
today's terms, bitches doesn't refer only to ladies. It refers to even men who don't actually act.
Who or what?
Men who don't.
Who are cowards?
Yeah,
Who are
And,
cowards?
things,
Okay.
and what actually registered that? For me, I would say hip hop.
That's why I'm asking you a
Hip hop
question.
culture.
That's
Because
why I want
you
the
don't get to
question.
hear stuff like that outside hip hop culture.
That's why I want
culture
to
or
ask the
genre?
question.
No, but
Culture
hip hop,
or genre?
Hip hop is a culture.
Nah, it's also a genre.
Yeah.
It depends on who's looking at it. I look at it as an artist, as a
See
culture.
the reason why I'm
Exactly,
saying
but-
a culture is because you still see all these things in movies too. So it's way beyond just being a genre. It's
But that's why
culture
I
itself.
want to ask the question: was it born of the hip hop culture? Because again, there are a lot of other genres out there that maybe is not as mainstream as hip hop, but they have this, and they were before, they were during, they were after. Because, like I'm saying, you know, like my question is: was it really born of hip hop, or was it just expressed through hip hop,
you see the
and
thing
then
is,
people
when you
started
talk about,
picking
when you
it
talk
up?
about the word mainstream, if you're not mainstream, that means you don't have that much effect. You know, that's why you're underground. But if you're saying mainstream, it means you have much outreach to the people, and people learn from that source than any other source.
Right,
That is
I
mainstream.
get you, but what I'm asking is, it might not be mainstream worldwide, but it might be mainstream in your own culture, and that's why I'm saying.
Hip
look
hop.
into-
No,
look
we're
into-
talking about.
be-
We're talking about hip hop in Africa.
But that's why I'm asking you: did it start off hip hop, or was it
Yes.
did it just give people
No, they
an
started off
outlet?
hip hop.
Nah.
Because I'm saying that
Nigga, bitches.
that
The first principle,
I'm saying-
the word
In-
bitch
in
was
Ni-
invented before hip hop.
No,
that's what
I
I'm saying,
said,
like,
in
I'm-
Nigeria, in African society. What made what's like bitches and niggas popular in Africa, if not through hip hop? Which other
But is there another word in your
It's hip
culture
hop.
that was
I think I
perpetuated, like meant the same thing?
We said no, we're talking about bitch and nigga.
And I'm saying you have different words that mean the
No,
same thing in different
no.
languages, and you just picked up one of the words.
Okay, now the thing is we have see, when you go into if you want to go that route, then means we'd have to discuss other derogatory terms in Latin, in Arabic, in Mandarin. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the word bitch and nigga, because these Africans we're talking about, they use that a lot, and they've normalized the usage of that word.
Not all rappers do that. Not all.
I'm not saying
hip-hop
rappers.
artists do
I'm
that.
just saying. I'm only referring to how this affects us as a people
As a
in the
people.
African society,
Well,
and it actually affects the way we view women.
Indeed.
It does, bro.
Indeed. Consciously,
But what would be the
unconsciously,
word?
yeah.
Because
But
even the women.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we're
Yeah.
looking at words.
you're not looking at.
I'm looking at the bigger picture, because I can't
Tell
speak.
us a
I
bit of
can't.
that bigger
Yeah,
picture, please.
I can't speak for an African word that I don't know, but I can speak for maybe a Jamaican word that I do know. Yeah, gal.
You see, the
In
thing is,
Jamaica, it was always a derogatory term.
Really?
Yes, until it became popularized by music.
Is there another word, girl?
Wind your body, girl.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
but
like-
it was
Seriously?
again.
Yeah,
It
I
was
never
a
knew.
derogatory term. It meant what it meant, just like bitch means what it means. It meant what it meant.
Girl.
No,
No?
no.
No, you see, the thing is, no. If
No,
you
it
were
is a
talking
girl.
about,
It is a girl, but it's like a girl that's lower than you. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but she was of a lower class than you. Like, your mom says, "Call me a gal," like it means, you know, whatever. Or a man calls you gal, like that. Them's fighting words.
Wow.
Don't call
the
me a
thing
gal.
is,
But now
if
it's normal.
if you were talking about the bigger picture,
Hints
no
out.
one knew. No one
Hints out
knew.
to girl, the Jamaican
No one knew
girl.
about
Now
that.
you know.
No one knew. Personally, I'll tell you. No, none of us knew about before you said it. Now, none of us knew about gal.
No.
So the thing is, if we are going to hold anything responsible, it has to be through that genre. Now we talk about dancehall music.
Yeah.
They made us know it.
Now, don't
So
forget.
if we want to blame anything, we have to blame that
Dancehall,
channel.
yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Through
so that's the
which-
reason why we're holding hip hop responsible, because hip hop actually give us.
Are you definitely going against hip hop? Yo, dude, like, yo, I thought you were
it's,
disciple.
it's his opinion.
No,
No, I
for
get
real.
what you're saying.
You
but
mean on hip hop today, huh?
I get what you're saying, right? I get what you're saying, but I think you didn't understand, or you didn't get my question. My question was, you were saying that hip hop is degrading, and I'm saying it might be helping us to express ourselves in a more universal level, but we were always doing it, and that's why I'm asking: were we always doing it? And hip hop just gave us like a universal language to do it. Like, were we always doing it? But it's just like social media and phones today. A lot of things were always happening, but we didn't realize because nobody was taking pictures and videos of it. Yes, hip hop might be showing us that it's happening, but is it really hip hop's fault that it's happening? Like, was it always happening? But we just got a universal language for it.
You see, let me tell you. Now you're talking about if you're talking about niggas and bitch, that's just one of so many things
Got it.
people have done. Now another thing I was going to talk about is the mainstream numbers of drug abuse. Hip hop.
True that.
Hip hop has actually made that.
That I agree
You know,
with.
yeah.
No, for real.
I agree with.
That
That I agree with. No, that I agree
talking about hip
with.
hop, I'm not just talking from one perspective.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
name
That I agree with.
hundreds of things that hip hop have done. I'm not saying it doesn't have.
We're naming
its
them.
personal-
We're naming them.
Yes, so now drug abuse. Do you know the population of African youths that have normalized consumption of drug and drinking of lean? Lil Wayne alone channeled
sorry, what is that?
the religious use of lean.
What is that?
What is that?
Lean, codeine.
That's like codeine.
Codeine, yes.
Well,
Cough
that's
syrup
Lil
with
Wayne.
some extra.
Even in America, you
I
know how
never
many
tried
people
it.
that actually learned
Like seriously, never tried it.
Lil Wayne led a whole decade of lean users.
Yeah.
You know, and we have that in America.
Nah, it's not just hip hop. It's Afrobeats too.
Well, it started.
Those
But it
Afrobeats
started from.
they
It
learned
started
hip hop.
from.
Yeah,
It
that's
started
the
from.
trend.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Afrobeat guys learn from people because there was a time in Nigerian music you couldn't smoke in the video because your families will be looking at you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to face them after
Yeah.
that. But now you see all these Afrobeat artists smoking weed on Instagram and all
But
that.
fellas smoked a lot.
Bro, how many people followed that trend?
Fellas smoked a lot. It
But
was
you,
good.
but you know the thing
Bob
is
Marley
when
smoked a lot, it
fella
was good.
smoked,
Yeah,
when
but
fella
he didn't.
smoked,
He didn't.
He didn't
smoke
promote
it was
He
it was
didn't promote
a
it,
bad stereotype compared to how it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He smoked, but his drug of choice wasn't the type that I guess you're speaking about.
Yeah. I'm not.
No, even the weed.
Just make sure, just to get guys. I'm not condoning this. Okay, that I don't do drugs. Okay.
Do not do
Do not label me here as the guy who does drugs.
It's
no.
a good thing you said
no,
that
no.
because we already think.
No, the silly
so
thing is,
y'all
it's
know.
not really to. I'm not saying. I'm not really castigating it. The essence of this conversation is to really understand the influence of hip hop
Yeah,
in
we
African
don't-
society.
Yeah.
This Afrobeat artist learns from hip hop,
Well.
and it's just not in Nigeria. When you go to Angola, go to South Africa, you see South Africa has a prominent hip hop culture. Do you know? So we can't really say hip hop is. We need to discuss these things because I'm really concerned for this generation and the next because what they learn off hip hop is crazy.
Indeed, yeah.
When you go on Instagram, you see these things. From hip hop, it's hip hop. That's why I say
Right, so I'm
hip hop
saying
culture.
we're
Not
naming
just the
them,
song.
and I agree with the drug use. What else then has hip hop influenced negatively?
Gun violence.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
Again,
you know,
I
the
can say that was before hip hop. They just
Yeah, I
they
mean,
just
no, I'm
perpetuated
I'm
just
just
it.
listening.
Violence.
If you guys give me a chance to say something, I'll let you know that hey, that all the genres of music really did this. That hey, like they Nirvana, hello, like
No,
come on.
what we're saying
People
is
were dying before hip
No,
hop
Kels,
became on
what we're
drugs
saying
and
is
guns.
what we're discussing is in
The
Africa.
the
No other genre of
effects.
music outside music has that much dominance over Africans as hip hop. None.
I just want to say something. I mean, even though these things had existed before hip hop came in, you just have to hold, what would I say, the biggest culprit responsible.
Yeah, I get you.
You understand? Yeah,
True.
yeah. It had existed, fine. People smoked. People killed, yeah. People use the word bitches and niggas and things like that, yeah. But someone or something just, you know what, we're going to take it in another level, yeah.
Yeah.
Take it a step further. So
Oh, let me name another one. The baby daddy, baby mama,
No.
no mouse.
No. No.
Say hello to King Solomon.
No. I'm kidding. Yeah, maybe. Yes.
Because
yes.
I know people now
Yeah.
that actually plan to be baby fathers and baby mothers,
Yeah.
and they learn from these Afrobeat artists, and those guys learn from the hip hop stars.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yes, bro.
But
Maybe
again,
they can be-
the problem again is that now I'm not trying to to support hip hop in this case. Yeah, I think again, it's all about being conscious and being. I mean, you should filter what you take from something.
which is on an individual, like
No,
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but you know, we all these folks are conscious. They know what they're doing. Yeah. Again, maybe there has to be some external, I don't know, influence. Again, like, okay, you know what, or someone controlling, just like what they're trying to do here. Like I said before, yeah. Like, okay, we realize that you guys are not smart enough to understand what is good and what is bad.
True, so we do
We
that for
are
you.
gonna help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe someone has
They
to
ain't
do
helping
that.
though. They ain't helping though. He got worse. He went off the scale.
No, it's just started, really.
They had a court case with this famous Russian artist.
Morgenstern,
Yeah,
or
I
his
didn't want to
name?
say his name because we ain't paid us for promotion yet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I think you got money,
Yeah.
but you better pay for promotion. But that guy won his court case, and that's also a big promo right there. So instead of actually trying to bring it down, they actually pushed it up to the max.
Oh, if you really knew
Yeah.
what, because after this situation that happened, this gun, where was it in Russia? Where this kid went to school? Yeah.
The school
shooting,
shooting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he was one of the folks who came out. I think a couple of a couple of other guys are like, "Oh, it is bad, this and this," and someone's like, "It's like, really? Seriously? You guys are gonna open your mouth to talk about this? Look at the message you pass. Or look at what you sing. You literally glorify what these guys or what these kids do in public, yeah? And you come out to say, "Oh, you're against it," and things like so. You know, just some contradicting our opinion, yeah.
Like,
Hip
let me-
hop normalizes crime.
Hip hop normalizes crime because hip hop is street. Let's get that clear. Now, people want to get into
True.
hip because of clout, and they ain't street. And so when they come and open their mouth, they get beat.
But
That was a
thing is-
rhyme, by the way.
Like so. Yeah.
Sure. But the thing is, now talking about hip hop of the present, it's about clout,
Basically,
and
Yeah.
everything they sing about or rap about affects the Africans.
a lot.
That's why you ain't doing it anymore, right?
That kind of like affected. You see, the thing
Really?
is,
That's
I
Question.
realized that how I learned to rap was talking about basic stuff, how you intend to make love to a woman, violence. Even though a violent person, you need to assume yourself to be in that position of being a violent guy,
Question.
But then I started to realize that okay, now I'm becoming really conscious, and I can't really get myself to do these things because I learned hip hop on the rudiments of having to be violent, having to be, that was how I learned.
yeah.
But
And
why,
that's how
why do we gravitate towards what is detrimental towards us?
Because
Human
it's a break
nature.
away from what you do normally.
I get it, but if it's influencing us on such a great degree, then we're gravitating towards it. And why are we doing that?
The thing is, I think most people are normal. Some people are sick. So,
Attention
Yeah,
again.
and so some people just don't learn to differentiate reality from fantasy, and so they get this whole thing to them. Like the guy who grabs the gun and shoots people, like of course he's like he's beginning to fantasize. He gets really depressive and he tries to be a superhero, get hurt, and he does something like that. It's crazy. But a lot of thank God everybody here is normal. I'm just gonna bring up a gun right now, right? I hope because I'm gonna beat somebody up. I swear. What I'm trying to say is like people are normal and people are normal. The abnormal people, the people are sick, right? And so they need like some psychiatric help. But when they get on these things, they take these messages for real and they really like they bring up the guns and they do
Yeah.
things.
All right, can I say
Yeah.
because again, this is my profession. It's really about the vibrations that you get from hip hop. It's like the monotone.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I believe it's what my thesis is going to be about.
Oh, wow.
I
Good
believe.
practice.
Amen.
I believe that sound vibration, sound waves, they send different messages to your brain. And if you listen to hip hop, it's like a monotone thing that it actually beats something into your head. And I think that that's why I think if we want to send a different message through hip hop, then you have to use the same vibrations to preach what it is that you mean
You
for
stand
people
for
to hear.
your
Yeah,
message.
because it's about what is transmitting to your brain. Your brain is being affected by this vibration that
Kudos
keeps
to that.
coming.
Kudos to that.
Keeps
And that's what you were
coming.
doing too before you stopped, huh?
Bro.
Like I told you, when you guys stop, you have a lot of bunch black ass rappers not rapping. You're not supposed to stop. You should understand that people look up to you because people look up to Nas, people look up to Tupac, up to like because of the messages they hear. Tupac was also violent in a way, but he had a lot of true words he said,
Yeah.
and true things that people could relate to. And the same thing I do with my music too. So guess what? I have a question for y'all. Let's all pick like two or three of our let's not say too much. One of our or two of our like famous like hip hop track which we're really close to. That really beats that vibration. It just gives you like, wow, yeah, this is me here. Like, Can you come up with your maybe your
Do I
top
really
hip-hop
have
track?
any now?
Yeah, kind of like music break, not music break, but just like to make people understand what we're talking about.
Oh.
What we stand
J.
for
Cole's
hip hop.
Let Nice Down.
Which one?
Let Nice Down. You know, for me, about hip hop, I'm really concerned about the instrument first.
The instrument first.
Yeah.
As in the sound, the
Yeah.
well,
I don't really give that much
that's-
credence to
right,
the
but
lyrics.
that is what my thesis is about.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
add.
about the sound waves. It's not really so much about what you hear because you don't realize that you're picking up on the words because the music is what is taking you. Like if you know what an earworm, a soundworm, like when you hear a piece, like you just hear a piece of a song and then like you can't forget it. Like it keeps playing in your mind.
For those
You
who
don't
are professionals, they hit earworm sound. They had this little maggot sticking out of the ears, like.
No.
Yeah.
It's when you hear something and you can't forget it, so it keeps replaying in your mind. A lot of people don't realize that you're more attracted to the sound. That's why you have hits. You're more attracted to the instrumental than you are the words. The words come afterwards.
That's true.
But the words
yeah.
replay in your mind even if you don't know that the words replay in
For
your
most
mind.
genre of music, yeah, I'm actually like that in terms of the sound. But when it comes to hip hop and other things, because just so you know, I'm actually a teacher of hip hop.
Wow.
I teach English through hip hop and urban culture. So I actually wrote a course of my own for like a year, an academic year, in which kids actually learn how to rhyme. I divided it into 4 basic parts. The elements of hip hop to me are MCing, basically. As an MC, you should be able to improvise, like be like go different like dynamic. That's what the MC kills. That's actually dynamic kills. Then you have what they call it. They have what lyrics. When you write on lyrics, you should be able to like you should be able to write a poet. You should be able to write poems.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Rhyming. Then you have of course the what do you call it? The dancing part of it, right? Break dancing, and the last one, graffiti. And so when I'm teaching a kid how to express himself, just so you understand, all the kids, they become so confident. That's what hip hop does. It brings up your ego, like, you know? And they learn how to, like, the teacher tells you to do, like, just write like this, like italics, right? No, do it the way you want to write, but make sure you write your name. Wow, so I can do that. Just more tak deal. Like, can I actually do that? Yes, you can do that. That's hip hop's all about. Can I say my name like my name is Kelvin? Can you say my name is Kel to the VIN? Yes, you can do that. That's what hip hop does. It expands your ability. So if we look at that good part and bring it to Africa, yes, we need hip hop.
You that's a good thing because you're channeling it differently. You break it down this way, make them understand. Okay, you can do it that way. Yeah. Another person can come and okay. I mean, not just Kelvin,
Yeah.
or K to the E to, or you can K to the fucking to the V to the V, and then add all this extra word to it. Yeah.
Not F word.
Yeah. So you see, you breaking it down this way, that's good. Yeah. But
Yeah.
these folks don't do that. They say like, I'm just gonna put it out there. Just you say it like that too.
Yeah.
You know. Sorry, there was this. I don't know if it was what's the name? What's this
Artist?
Yeah.
Music? She.
It's a she. Yeah.
Rapper?
Whatever.
Or-
She doesn't let, according to, I mean, I heard this, I don't know if it's true, she doesn't let her daughter listen to the song she sings. And she doesn't let her daughter watch the songs.
Cardi B.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very
But
much.
she
Yeah.
can't stop that. You know it won't work, right?
Okay, but you,
It's a kick and have it.
yeah,
Yeah.
just imagine, she doesn't let her own kid.
Yeah.
Obviously, she understands the effect, the impact it has on on the society. I was gonna
married
to the- married
to the industry.
No, well, for her, it's because people have accused her of doing things and other young ladies following her lead and doing what she's and. You know, she defended herself by saying, it's not my job to parent your children. If you don't want your children to be a part of this, then don't let them be a part of it. And it's for her.
Yeah.
And for her, and that's why I asked the question before, like, why are we listening to stuff or why are we perpetuating stuff that we consider to be negative? Because if an artist can do it, like I'm doing it, I'm collecting my money, I'm whatever, but I'm not subjecting my child to it. Like we as adults can do the same.
Some people got
Yeah.
bribed. Some people got bribed to like promote such things.
Not just
Yeah.
they
got
the
bribed.
people that actually own these labels,
Yeah.
they do it for a purpose.
That is clear.
That's the reason why. The ones with the good message are always underground.
Yeah. if you dig deeper, like the thing is just to make things look the way they want it to look.
Yes.
And so
That's
what
true.
you hear is called
That's
the
true.
media.
But that's the sad part. Then it's just
Sad part,
basically
yeah.
they don't care about what they dish out.
Yeah.
Just sell.
So we can't blame hip hop. We can blame these media, all right, for actually allowing such content to get out to the young generations. Because I understand us as future parents, right? And I understand our kids are going to listen to things that's to TikTok and bitches, and we like understand like, hey. Kid, you can say it. You see it. You can rap like you can do better than she does without saying a swear word, and that's what I teach my kids when I teach them. I say you can do a lot of things better. You just imagine what you're trying to do. You're trying to get. You don't want to be popular. Is that what you want to do? You can be popular. Just like make sure switch your flows, switch your things. Rap about things that actually matter. You understand, right? And that's a good thing about hip hop. We can say it's we can get the clout and you can get the fame at the same time. But when you get the clout and the way you get it or the means of getting this through a very derogatory use of terms, then that becomes like really bad.
It's a lack of creativity.
you get
Yeah.
It's
good
a
one.
lack of cretivity now.
But you
Just
see the thing is,
anything,
the
just
people
do
that
anything,
actually
yeah.
sign these people, they don't sign the creative ones because they have in my own opinion, I think they have a purpose why they're pushing these trap stars.
Or another thing, they just shut you up because when you sign those documents, oh my God, you know better than this or this. If you it's such a cage. Like you can't even say some things. They tell you what to write and what to rap.
What to say? Yep.
There's this girl called Klava Koka, Russian artist. She sings. I think the operators, they know them because they're Russians, they know. You know Klava Koka, right, guys? They're using the phones. Anyways, the thing is that she is a very good artist, but because she signed to a label that actually wants to get, call it pop shit out there, right? She has to do pop shit, but she's actually very, very deep artist. Wait, I'm not promoting her yet, but I'm just trying to, yeah. Just so you know, I think because I used to be a producer, I would look at people actually produced a couple of people back then. I'll look at them, see how they deliver, see their confidence, see how they go with the beat, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with this person. You understand, right? That's why one of my that's how I know him, because his delivery and everything. Then I look at the content. The content is the last thing I look at. But the hip hop to me is exactly you understanding the art, how it goes, how it's delivered. Now the content now brings your personality. What either you're a copy of somebody. You can actually buy lyrics, by the way, these days. So even if you're gonna buy good lyrics, things like that. Anyways, we have a guest.
So the thing is, to actually round it up, there's this last question, and I really need your opinion on that, and that's nudity.
Nudity.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you really think, judging by the current trend of things now, do you really think hip hop has actually contributed to nudity in the African society?
Again, the media. The media, the freaking media. They put an ass over your face.
Okay, what do you have to say about that? Because the way you're looking at me now.
It gets annoying sometimes. I mean, like, hey, come on. I actually like when it's covered. You understand? Like, yeah.
I have to say it started with ignorance.
Yeah.
Ignorance of maybe not what you think. Ignorance of our own African culture from the Western side looking on. It's like we were trying to get away from the white man or the European standard of living where we had to cover ourselves and saying,
true,
well, you know
true.
what, from what I see on TV, like I don't know my ancestors, but from what I see on TV, Africans don't really wear clothes, so it's okay for me to expose myself. And then whining is an African thing, shaking yourself is an African thing. And then it became like, okay, fine, it arouses the people who watch it, and it became a mainstream thing. But it started from ignorance, where we were trying to find ourselves, and then it became something that maybe it shouldn't have become.
Actually, I think that's very accurate though.
I'm just trying to connect the dots. I listened carefully and now.
Again, we're enslaved people in the West.
Okay.
We were stripped of our African ancestry.
Yeah.
The only thing that was put back on us when hip hop started was African people without clothing. Like tribal people that didn't wear clothes, and what we had of our history was dancing. And shaking ourselves in ways that that our slave masters couldn't shake themselves.
Yeah.
So in order to get back, because hip hop started from consciousness that we need to move back to our African roots, and this is what these people are doing to oppress us. Like, if you really listen to what the earlier artists had to say, it was, you know, these people are oppressing us and we need to go back to this.
Don't
And
push
whatever.
me, cause I'm close to
Exactly.
the edge.
And
I'm trying
not to
lose my head.
exactly. Like, we try to expose ourselves to what we thought was African enough, but still authentic to us. And that's where the nudity, I think, started from, because as women, we were not the rappers and the, you know, the MCs and so on and so forth. So we had to do our part, and what we saw on TV, what was perpetuated towards us, was that the women would not have clothes, and they would be the ones that are dancing in rings and stuff and stuff.
In Namibia, there's a tribe called Himba. The Himba people of Namibia, they still walk around almost without clothes. In this present age,
there are several. Several
I meant
tribes that still do that,
Yeah.
all across Africa,
yeah.
and that's the only thing we know about African cultures. As
Especially
in when
the women now.
when it started, like, now people have the opportunity to learn more things about African culture. But when hip hop started, that's all we knew. That African women didn't walk around in clothes and they danced, and it was natural and it was okay. So that's what we thought was okay, and that's where we are now.
Okay.
I think it's a deep question, man. 'cause-
It's very
yeah.
educative what you said, because I'd never thought about it that way before.
I think you need to
And it
put
kinda
more
makes
light on
sense.
this. You need to put more light on this. I mean, I would actually hold you responsible as the prophet that would glorify, you know, because people don't understand this. They don't understand this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand this myself. But you said it, and I'm like, whoa. There's a psychological, like, you know, basement for this whole
But
thing.
there's a full psychological background on hip hop in and of itself.
Yeah,
And-
actually,
and-
I'm more
and
about the
that's why-
female
that-
part.
that's-
This
that-
dance
that's
and
why I'm
shaking,
saying,
booty,
like,
twerking. It's a whole
That's
industry.
why I'm saying, like,
No, because actually, twerking started from
there
Africa.
is a
We still do,
there's a
but we still do that in
disconnect
Africa.
between
Yeah.
what is hip hop in the Western world versus what it is in Africa. And yes, there are negatives translated towards Africa, but Africans are eating the ignorance of their counterparts, or you know, us as black people in the Western world. There's a divide there, and Africans, instead of educating, like taking the music and using it for something else and educating us who don't really know, they're just eating our ignorance, and then it's spreading. It's like a disease that is spreading.
True.
So the ignorance is being circulated as gospel, but it's really born out of ignorance and out of an outcry. Like,
True.
I want to know what home is like. I've never been home. It's never been home for me, but I feel the pull of it, you know, the pull to towards this land, but I don't know it. And this is all these people, this is all they fed me, and I'm just gonna perpetuate what I know, but you know, it's ignorance.
You know, I totally agree with what you're saying now. And what are we still Africans? Africans are supposed to be a people that African Americans, British Americans, the Caribbeans would look back at and be like, okay, these are actually my people. These are people I should actually learn from. But unfortunately,
It's the opposite.
Africans are learning from damaged people.
Yeah, it's the
People
opposite.
that have been conditioned to be some kind of way. And those are the ones you're learning from.
And that's
And
because
it shouldn't be so.
you know,
Of course.
because we see them as superior. Yeah, you see them as superior. Yeah, you would not even believe, even in the state, yeah, the way because what you talked about, and that's okay when you have them different continents here, but even for, I'm using America as an example, yeah, it is very prominent in the state that this thing is happening. Yeah, you see, okay, I am black, I am black, yeah, but because you have been here, because our ancestors were brought here, you are superior. And that is from the African who comes, or who's recent from Africa, yeah. Now, from the one who's been there, he sees himself as superior and you as, a minor, less of Africanness. So it's deeper than just, like you said now, that is, I think, for those women who see that, well, okay, I've not been home, this is what I've been fed, and probably this is how I have to act. I think it's a small percentage. I think it's a small percentage. And I also think that at this point, especially in the 21st century, there is, I mean, too many ways in which you can just get yourself out of it. It's all a matter of choice.
Yep.
And it's also how far you've got into it, what you're getting from it. I mean, most of them, I feel, have gotten so deep into that point where they feel like, you know what, I'm comfortable. There's recognition, maybe probably making money from it, and I'm being appreciated. I like it here. I don't even want to see anything. I don't want to see otherwise. Yeah.
Comfort zone appreciation.
Comfort zone, you know. Yeah, I like it here. And when you try to talk them out of it, oh, then comes the issue of it's my decision. I have a choice to make my. It's my right. It's my body. It is the most annoying part is it is art. And I can do whatever I want to do with it. Yeah. Like you said, I can write my name this way or that way.
Right, but then that's what I'm saying. It was born of this, and then it became the norm. It was born from ignorance, and instead of education, it just became the norm. And
But I think not at this point. Yeah, going with the norm is like I said, for the 21st century, it is so the resources and so many things that can help you out just to get out. Now we should question things. Let me just put it that way. Yeah.
I totally agree. But it brings me back to the question. Like, he was stating that hip-hop is so negative towards the African culture. And I'm saying, as Africans, we have to say what we want to learn. It brings us back to the very same thing. Is hip-hop negatively influencing the African culture? Yes, it is, because we're not thinking for ourselves.
Not asking the questions, and I think that is where the main problem is. Yeah, hip hop has its part, but then the problem
and also, just like you said we are actually consuming your ignorance. Do you understand? That's the
Yeah,
main
because you're
negative
not
part.
thinking.
So,
because you're not thinking for yourselves.
a blind person leading a blind person.
Exactly, the blind leading the blind.
No, not a blind person
Leading
leading
the
someone that has a probability of getting the fights again. But
that is even worse.
chosen not
Yeah,
to.
that is even worse. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Actually, I would like to like I'm listening, and I feel like hip hop definitely is needed. Right, we can't deny that.
No,
we need hip hop disciples or regulators who actually can push it in the right way. It's important. We need that. That's what I can grab from today's notion. We really need that. We used to have MI. I hope a lot of people who actually used to. I mean, if you look at African rappers, I was born in Nigeria, and I love my African rappers. Those who actually I respect. There's MI, Abada. There's a couple of even this guy from Ghana. What's his name? What's his
Manifest.
name?
Sarkodie.
Sarkodie, there's Sarkodie,
Amazing,
then
yeah.
there's Kwesi Arthur, the new guy. A lot of things I listen to what they say, right? I'm like, whoa, they're actually speaking for
Passing
people.
the message.
They're passing the
Like,
message,
yeah.
right? And I respect them. I have them on my playlist. You get me? Like this, I can take it from them. Like and I won't take it from thanks to hip hop that they exist. What could they have been into? Rock stars or what? The playing guitar, high life. They could have done that too, but hey, or Burna Boy.
Yeah.
So just like
sure.
The thing is this, right? We need regulators. We need regulators. I mean, we have awards and we have we have regulators. This is the best hip hop regulators. So we need these new artists, to look up to these famous or great artists, I call them, like them Borners and all that, and also for the contents of the videos where you have girls shaking ass and all that. It also changed. It changed over time. African videos, hip-hop videos, are not the same as American hip-hop videos anymore. So I would say that there's actually light already in the industry. So we can't look at it as, okay, it's all bad. No, it's actually getting better. And if you look at it, we now know that we are the leaders. No, we are not under the influence of hip-hop. So all the bullshit from America coming up, all those whack rappers, the guns, it sounds like noise in my ears now. And so the people who do music, I won't lie to you. Those who are actually into music, this is all noise. And you know what I'm talking about, right? But the thing is, like, the younger generation listens to that bullshit. So
Can I just say, though, I think with your program, this curriculum that I think we also need to regulate that and put that into our own communities.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, we need to make a living in another man's land, but we need to have programs like that in our own community so that our own people, because these people here, they are learning from us as well.
And that is
So
education.
we've got to put,
And that
we've
is
got to put
education,
the same thing in our own communities.
Just one last thing. Usually, for example, when I go to when we move around there with folks that I move with. Sometimes when you get to meet a new person, just they want to joke here. Like the first thing to think of, to see you're black, and like, oh man, it immediately is vulgar words. And the question that why? Sometimes just jokingly, why is it the first thing like, no, yo, the F, this shoot, this.
The media
Hip-hop.
got
Like,
the job done.
So you see,
Yes, when they see you,
The
when
media
Russians see you, they remember 50 cents.
yeah. So it's
You
I
know,
mean,
yo nigga, you tell them, what? No, but 50 Cent makes nigga sounds cool because they actually got exposed to 50 cents. And 50 Cent said, nigga,
And
you know,
use
so
F.
when they see you, when you get to like have this kind of conversation with some Russians, they're gonna tell you that, oh, but nigga, 50 Cent says niggas, you know.
it's
So
like
that's
the
it, bro.
first thing, just this negative, this vulgar words is like it's associated already with this. I mean, with your race. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that, I think apart from the fact that hip hop in its own.
Just so you know, they glorify the word now.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
They actually glorify it. They don't look at it as someone known. They actually look at someone like, yeah.
If you don't, once you.
No. Even if you don't pay attention to it now, right? The way they take it among themselves, they call themselves niggas.
Who?
The Russians. You don't know.
Even now, the word bro
Yeah.
became after some
Yo,
time.
bro,
this
so,
word bro.
это мои нигеры, это мои
Yeah,
нигеры,
bro.
это мои
Yeah.
нигеры.
The
yo.
word bro was.
Это мои нигеры. А ты
was-
что ты, вот мои нигеры пришли здесь, короче. And they refer to the coolest of the guys amongst them.
Not just.
So they are also
Wait,
owning.
what circles are you in?
You can ask the operators. Есть же такое, что русские сейчас называют рэперов, да, они называют себя вот нигеров, да, даже вот сами крутые своих ребят, мои нигеры пришли. Ну, так, бывают такие, да? Вообще это сейчас норма. It's normal right now for them.
The first one I noticed was even the word bro, yeah, because the word bro also started from I would say from the black community. Yeah. Now you're like bro, yeah, okay.
yeah, bro.
Now all right, that is.
So don't take offense in it anymore. Because when you take offense in it, they're like, because everybody likes to pinch on your weak spot. So when you don't pay attention to it, and they just understand that you don't give a shit about it, they're just like, okay, all right. Anyways, you my nigga, they say. I'm like, okay, cool. I say, if you were in the States, I'll punch you. Well, but it's okay. I mean, you just have to understand the psychology between it. Like, they're actually adding glory to him. It's not like, I mean, your guys are going to call you the same name anyways, jokingly, right? But these guys are calling themselves as if they call you as a bro. I'm not saying you should accept it, but you decide. You decide. You can punch his face, you can take it. But don't forget, they call themselves the coolest ones amongst them, that name. So it has evolved.
But it goes back to the bitches and
No.
stuff.
So-
It goes back to it. So
No, actually,
it's a
uh,
revolving door.
We finish. I think our time is up.
All right.
Yeah.
For such thing, you should give like 2-3 hours for it.
Yeah, no, the finish the time I have to do another session for this because I know it's a very long.
Yeah. And get back to
discussion.
rapping again. Get back to music.
Well, I'll see to that. I'll see to that. Maybe I probably need to relearn how to do music again because, bro, if I were to start rapping again, I'll still have to gravitate towards having to use my nigga,
Maybe not.
That is what I'm saying. You don't have to.
Create.
You don't
Don't
have to.
regurgitate.
It's
Create.
just really hard.
I think you should have another podcast where you guys talk about music and the art and how it can be implemented, how the old school music can come into the mainframe. Because, like, if you say you stopped, right, it's gonna be hard for you to catch up with the new trends. And there
The
you
thing
don't.
is, I don't really, not like I stopped. I just had to change my style of writing to fit into the world of today. Because now to do music is really expensive, right? So if you really want to do music and make something of it, then you have to find ways to appeal to that same market.
Just
everyone's
before
appealing
wrap
to.
up, do you guys know this guy called NF?
NF.
He sounds very much like Eminem. Anybody knows NF?
NF.
Yeah. NF sounds pretty much like Eminem.
NF?
NF, yeah. I mean, 2 alpha. NF, yeah. So, I mean, the lyrics is so rich, and he never uses vulgar words.
Yeah.
But
Create,
the energy is
don't
the same thing.
regurgitate.
The
Create.
energy is the same thing. You listen to a song, you literally want to just go tell Mr. P, I mean the president, like, you know what, I just want to take this position, leave. Yeah. I mean, it goes back to what you said about, I mean, it comes with the sound first, yeah, but then comes the lyrics. It all depends on how you use it. Yeah, it all depends on how you use it.
Blame the media.
So yeah, thank you guys for coming again to the show, and then we hope to really have this kind of conversation some other time, probably soon.
Yep.
So for now, I think that'll be all for now. Thanks again for coming to bless the show.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for having
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, thank you
A
guys.
lot of history class. Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, that'll be all for now.
Yeah.
Now I think we need to round everything up. Then we have some other episodes we need to shoot today. So we have to continue with that. So see you guys on the other round.
Yeah, get that pizza.